Have the microfiche.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. Being how it's 2:04, I will call to order today's meeting of the Development Waiver Review Committee. My name is Ann Lippman. I'm the Community Development Director and the chairperson of this committee. This time, I'd ask everybody in the audience, if you have any mobile devices, to please turn those off. And I'll ask all my fellow members of the Development Waiver Committee to turn on their microphones and introduce themselves.
Jason Phillips, County Attorney.
Ray Wooten, Director of Water.
George Jones, Director of Transportation.
Bruce Coyle, County Engineer.
Frank Baker, County Manager.
Thank you all. We have two agenda items today. Our first is to review the minutes from the June 18th, 2024 meeting. If everyone has had a chance to review those and the minutes from the June 18th, 2024 meeting. Are there any questions? If not, I will call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? There are none. The minutes are approved unanimously. We have one agenda item or one case number today. It is case 2024-5-W, application by Elite Engineering requesting to waive the recommended development regulation 5.15.9 for a left turn lane into Saddlebrook subdivision. Property is located in land lots 1240, District 3, Section 3, located north of Old Cartersville Road and Saddlebrook subdivision entrance. It is located in Post 4. We have received no calls on this application, and at this time I will ask the applicant if they are present, if they'd like to come up and...
It's opposite Saddlebrook.
Okay, it's opposite of Saddlebrook. It's not at Saddlebrook. Or it's at Saddlebrook, but it's not Saddlebrook.
It's not into.
It's not into Saddlebrook subdivision. It's into a separate new subdivision.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'll try to make this as brief as I possibly can. I'm here representing Chris Corley for the request to waiver the left turn lane requirements for this subdivision. This subdivision is a 32-lot subdivision located on Old Cartersville Road. It's part of the Jones family estate that was purchased, obviously not related to me. And these are 15,000 square foot lots. And I hired Jim Martinez, former PDOT employee, to do the traffic study evaluation as requested by staff. We did the traffic study, and the evaluation came back that it was, in his opinion, professional opinion, that the left turn lane was not warranted at that time. I think a large part of the concern with this location is that back in the day, Steve Simpson, God rest his soul, did Saddlebrook Farms, and there's two entrances to that subdivision and about 200 lots on Old Cartersville, and it doesn't have a left turn lane. It just has a deceleration lane. So I think that generates a lot of the concern for traffic in this actual particular area. 32 lots, even according to the latest ITE trip generation manual, is 9.44 vehicular trips per day per house, would only generate about 150 vehicular trips per day. A little bit less than a year ago, the trip generation manual would equate to about 77. So they've raised their standards from 7.1 to 9.44 vehicular trips per day. The manual, though, that's on page 3 of the Pawnee County left turn lane and right turn lane deceleration lane technical guideline, it shows that a left turn lane volume threshold would be reached on a 40 to 50 mile an hour if 250 vehicular trips per day was generated, and this particular development actually generates 151. And so if you further analyzed where the vehicles are coming from, out of the 151 vehicular trips, about 25% of them will be making a left turn into the community. So in the peak hours of the morning, that equates to less than two vehicles coming in from the left, and then in the afternoon it's less than 4 vehicles coming. So all day long, a 24-hour period, it's about 6 vehicles entering from the left-hand side, according to the the traffic study that Jim Martinez did. He further iterates that this particular analysis showed that a right turn lane would not be required, nor a left turn lane. We're not even requesting the right turn lane to be removed. We're just asking for the left turn lane. Why is this such a burden to accomplish? Because there's a deceleration lane across the road and those houses are existing and the monument's in, it would require what's called a single-sided shift, which means that we have to do all the shift on our side of the road, which makes the left turn lane longer, bigger, and it requires more dedication because if you did a double-sided shift, you would take 6 from the other side of the road, you would take 6 from our side, and basically you would do a symmetrical shift, which typically results in less asphalt ultimately being installed. The second part of this equation is currently under the entrance is a 16-inch water main that will have to be relocated. Obviously, to relocate it for a deceleration lane is a fairly substantial cost, but to relocate it for a deceleration lane and a left turn single-sided widening is significantly more. And I'm sure Ray could vouch to the cost of 16-inch pipe, but it's fairly substantial these days. Furthermore, the particular area where this water main is a blast area. It means we've already removed rock in that area to get it down to grade, and most likely, in order to put in the relocation, we're probably going to have to blast out for that water main. I think Mr. Corley actually spoke to some of the people with Paulding County Water System and said back in the day when they installed that 16, it was actually, that section was blasted in there. So we're really just trying to avoid all of these burdens, not only just from a financial standpoint, but just from a financial standpoint, you're talking $12,000 to $13,000 a lot on 32 lots. We're kind of hanging our hat on the fact that we don't really hit the threshold numbers that are required in the manual. The left turn, right turn scenario, I don't think Juan and Erica and them, when they reviewed it, I don't think they disagreed with the calculations or the entry and exits, and Mr. Jones, he probably has more information to relate to that. But ultimately, we're requesting this because I have done many subdivisions in Paulding County that are 50 lots or less, and I've never once had a left turning lane on a subdivision of this size. Now, I realize that it has more to do with the 32 lots that we're creating. It has to do with existing conditions out there. It has to do with what the road service is right now, what level of service that road is, and those kind of things. That's why I hired Jim Martinez to do my study, because if anybody, in my opinion, would know the road system, it'd be somebody who actually worked with Paulding County DOT. Like I said, to reiterate, he did say that he didn't feel like it warranted it. We submitted it to staff. We had a meeting with staff. Staff disagreed that they still wanted to go after this left turn lane, and so we're basically asking for you guys to consider this would be a huge burden to this development, being only 32 lots, and I'll be happy to answer any additional questions that you guys may have as it relates to this. One other thing I wanted to mention, and it's not relevant, but it's somewhat relevant, is Ridge Road had a left turn lane that I'm also working on, that the Board of Commissioners stipulated on a project for a commercial. That was recently modified for a right turn passing lane, which we don't have the luxury of doing a right turn passing lane. If we did, I'm sure staff would be willing to work with us on that. But that particular section of road has over 9,000 vehicular trips per day, and according to the traffic numbers that were available for us at Old Cartersville and Brooks Road, which is right here, it's somewhere around 4,000 vehicular trips per day. So, if you look at apples to apples of what has happened recently in this county as it relates to left turn lanes and traffic being warranted or not, I just hope you keep that in mind, and like I said, I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Does anybody on the committee have any questions for the applicant?
Question on the
Microphone.
study.
Yes, sir.
The engineer never stamped it.
Well, I don't know if he.
Certify this was the actual count. And then the other question I had on the date, it was March Is that for the March 28th at the sale corner in the school intersection? A lot of times they'll mention that in some of these.
Well, the original study we did was actually in August of 2023, and then we had a staff meeting, and then I think he updated it in May of 24, and that's when we submitted the response to the comments. Obviously, Jim Martinez is a PE. I don't really know why he didn't stamp it, and I didn't really notice that. But I think the traffic information he used was provided by Paulding DOT, unless I'm wrong. It wasn't? Okay. Well, maybe George can tell me where it was gotten, but the long and the short is the traffic data that we could find online for Paulding County DOT in this section was from 2022, so I don't know if they have any newer data for this particular road section, but that's the data that we had available to use.
And I know it's right across from Saddlebrook, which they line up, but you're coming out of a curve, then there's a bridge right below you.
Yeah, furthermore, that's another reason why not to do the left turn lane is we have to redo all of the guardrail, and it's going to affect that slope going down to that culvert. Now, sight distance wise, we have great sight distance. That's why we pushed our driveway all the way down there to Saddlebrook and aligned it, but yeah.
Where is that going to be? I mean, is it going to be right across the street?
Yes, sir. Yeah, they're aligned Saddlebrook's lower entrance.
Okay.
That was really, quite honestly, the only option, because if we tried to put it on the upper end, we wouldn't have had sight distance. So aligning it with them just, it made the best sense from a traffic standpoint.
Go for it.
In your study, Jonathan,
Yes.
you had quoted 25% turning left.
Yeah.
It's actually 4753 according to the study.
47%?
47, yes.
Okay, but that still would be well under the 250 threshold, right?
It's under.
Yeah.
Again, it's an estimate, but I just want to let you know it's
Okay.
4753 in this study.
Okay, so instead of 38, it would be probably more like 50 vehicular trips. So
I'd
that's,
have to look at, it's in there, but I just want to let you know that, like I said, it's different from what you stated. And also, it looks like Meyer Traffic was your data collection, so obviously somebody was hired as a consultant.
oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I think originally in his report, we might have gotten some data because he references it in here, but that is right. We ended up having to hire a company to go out and get updated data because the only data we had was down at 61 in Northside, I believe, that was updated.
Go ahead.
Any other questions? Ray, any questions? I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, I'll ask if there is anyone present who would like to speak on behalf of the application, if you'd like to come forward. Is there anyone who would like to express opposition or has questions, concerns regarding the application? Looks like there are none. At this point, I will close the public hearing, and I will ask if anyone on the committee has any questions or would like to make a motion.
Motion to deny.
We have a motion to deny. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second from Mr. Baker. Our motion on the floor is to deny, made by Mr. Jones and seconded by Mr. Baker. If there are no other questions or comments, I will call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay. There are no nays. The request is denied unanimously by a vote of 5-0. That being our only case today, I will call for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second. I never get to make motions or seconds, so all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We are adjourned.